Lay reading is a very important component in the operations of an Anglican parish and is intended to be an opportunity for people who answer the spiritual call of their faith and help build up the congregation. Lay reading can involve many different areas of work inside of the church, such as pastoral care, Christian education, social action, and parish administrations. This video will introduce and outline the specific duties that a lay reader carries out on a regular basis. A lay reader is someone in the congregation who has gifts for leadership and worship, and quite often it is someone with good pastoral sense so that they can be involved with hands-on ministry.
The role of clergy is to enable and encourage laity to go forth and proclaim the gospel in word and deed to a wide awakening world.
Anglican lay readers are licensed by the bishop to a particular parish or to the diocese at large. In the Anglican tradition, the role of licensed lay readers, whose prominence varies by region, is similar to that of a nonconformist lay preacher. Reverend John Ferguson is an Anglican minister.
In smaller congregations, a lot of times lay readers do some of the principal ministry in the place, and in a larger congregation like this, they share in the ministry. They do quite a bit, including home communions, communion at the manor, and they become a regular part of people's lives.
Now that we understand what a lay reader is, how does someone who hears the call to become a lay reader do so? Reverend Tom Henderson is a warden of lay readers.
Interest. Your first step would be probably to consult with your parish priest or your rector, and if this is something that they are agreeable with, they will sit down and have a discussion with you on their expectations on what a lay reader is, and to find out a little bit more about yourself.
The commitment of becoming a lay reader is serious, as you will be a pivotal member of the parish, something that this lay reader is learning right now.
Follow me. I think the church is sometimes represented by people that aren't necessarily indicative of what the church actually is. And so to be a lay reader, it's important and it's serious because you need to put the church's best foot forward.
One of the primary and most important duties of a lay reader is to deliver, from the lectern, sermons and addresses authorized by the rector.
Because you are part of the people and the people who are gathered, you may be called upon to do the prayers of the people and to proclaim that and to pray on behalf of the community itself. You may be called upon to do certain prayers within the liturgy. And you may be called upon to do the offices from time to time: morning prayer, evening prayer, compline, service for young people, and prayers at midday, to take part in the life and celebration of that community.
Readings from different books of the Bible are read each service by the lay readers. Lay readers are expected to understand the importance of these readings, which usually involves something to do with that service's sermon.
It's important to have people who have studied the Bible and sort of spent a significant amount of time with it. It's important to have those people present the Bible and teach on it. There's
a saying in church circles that you should be prepared to preach, pray, or die at a moment's notice. And so you may be called upon to even preach at a moment's notice as a lay reader. Although I think just to alleviate any jitters that may be out there, that may not be all the time. And in fact, it probably will rarely happen.
Another big part of being a lay reader is teaching, especially to the children and youth of the congregation, because they are the future of the parish.
Lay readers will be called upon to do sort of those things which enable younger people to participate in the life of the church.
Being available to all members of the congregation is another important element. Being there to pray with parishioners as the occasion may require is a great way to be there for the people of the church. Visiting the sick and the weak to lift their spirits is something each lay reader does, as there is no one in more need than the sick.
Those who find themselves in life's more trying moments, whether through illness or crises, those are the people for whom those of us who are not experiencing illness or crises at that moment of time are asked to serve.
If we don't spend time with the sick and the suffering and the hurting, those broken people, then we're not really doing our jobs. It's like you wouldn't send a doctor to somebody who wasn't sick. And in the same way, you need to be presenting Jesus to the people who most need him. And often those people are people who are sick, and in hospitals, a lot of people sort of dying by themselves.
It is important for lay readers to be involved with the congregation on a personal level, so to ensure that the parishioners know that the clergy cares about their congregation.
Outwardly, they take on a very visible role in both the liturgy on Sunday, or maybe asked to take on a more visible role in the liturgy of Sunday. But that's to be reflected also in other aspects of your participation in the life of the church.
So, I mean, we're all the same. We're all equal members of the church, but as a lay reader, you've sort of set yourself out to be a leader.
A lay reader or lay person are authorized by a bishop of the Anglican Church to read some parts of a service of worship. They are members of the congregation called to preach and lead services, but not called to full-time ministry.
The difference between a lay reader and the laity in general and the clergy is more or less they are living out their Christian lives in the wider world. And what a lay reader does is it becomes a visible sign of that work of the laity within the life of a parish.
Communion is the most important part of a service, and the lay readers play an important role in delivering communion to the congregation. Although the lay readers are permitted to distribute the communion, they may not lead the celebration.
We eat and drink with and among one another as a visible sign of our togetherness. And what lay readers do is they participate in that life, and they participate in that meal.
As a lay reader, my function in that is simply, to be holding these people up in prayer and to administer the sacraments of bread and wine.
The key to a reader's license is that he or she is permitted to carry out pastoral work in the absence of a priest.
So they may be asked upon to go out and serve. They may be asked upon to go out and visit more often. They may be asked to take part and to lead service more often. They may be asked to preach more often. And so in the absence of a rector, the role of the lay reader increases quite a bit.
The theological training of lay readers enables them to preach, teach, and lead worship. Licensed lay readers may also assist in pastoral, evangelistic, and liturgical work.
The Lord God has given me the tongue of a teacher.
A lay reader's license enables you to do a number of things within the life of a church, and within the life of a parish, and within the worship of a congregation. It allows you to read in church. It allows you to take part in Christian education, particularly among the youth. It allows you to take part in serving. You may be even called upon to preach. You will be called upon to administer the sacraments, meaning you will be helping out with the distribution of bread and wine.
The importance of a lay reader can be seen at every church service. They assist in important aspects of the day-to-day workings of the parish. Think of a lay reader as an understudy to the priest. If the priest was absent from a service or something needed to be attended to, the lay reader could then fill in for the clergy member.
Something I often say is we have a big God and small minds. And it's important for us to keep learning, to keep asking questions, to keep searching out the answers, to spend time reading the Bible and reading what other people have to say about the Bible and examining our faith from different viewpoints.
They are a visible sign of the work of everybody towards the fulfillment of Christ's mission and commission to our world.
The choice to become a lay reader is a very personal and spiritual decision to make, one that must be thought about. The call to serve is no burden, but a gift that can be given and spread throughout the whole congregation.
The church has been it's been so good to me and so good to my family. And therefore, it's not something I even think about. It just is a natural reaction to the love that's been shown to me and people I know and people I see in the church all the time.
Building a stronger congregation and bringing the people of the community together is just some of the benefits of being a lay reader.
It's a tremendous privilege to be asked to serve other people. And if I had to stress one trait that a lay reader should have at the top of their list, is a sense of humility.
I think the biggest thing would be a servant's heart, that they want to serve Jesus Christ above all things, and that they want to care for and serve other people.
Should you choose to answer the call to serve your faith and your community, it is something that should be taken seriously and wholeheartedly, but also with enthusiasm.